Bum,
You having a good time down there?
bum, 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 bum.
All right. Hello, gang. Welcome back to the second part of showcasing the Bexley District. I'm joined again here with BludPanda, who is
Yes.
chilling in a boat, it seems.
As you know from the last video, I got my own channel. I actually did the aquarium as promised, which is really cool. I think you should check that out. A few announcements I'm pretty sure we have to make.
Yeah, we have some crazy things that we're doing behind the scenes. As some of you know from the previous video, we announced that we have a community Discord server that everyone can join, and some of you did, which is awesome, but we're also combining that Minecraft Arkham Predator server that was separate and putting it into the community server. So if you checked out BludPanda's video and were interested in joining and playing games, they're both going to become just one server, and you'll be able to join and play. Or if you're not interested in that and just want to talk and see behind the scenes,
You can build
and
your own as well. Like, it's a community thing. So it'll just keep the community alive. We'll actually have stuff like going on. It won't be like dead, you know? And it'll be really cool. You can make your own map if you want to like host it, because we don't want to just, it's not just us. It's other people too. We actually have 2 maps at the moment that could be hosted by other people. So you can be one of those people if you want, showcase your stuff.
yeah.
As always, you can show off your own work. Like, we've been having people already showing off their work in there, and it's really cool. So please come by and show us your stuff. It doesn't even have to be Minecraft either. You can show us anything you want.
Anything you want to post in there, you totally can.
Yeah, if you're like a NASA engineer and you just built like a rocket, put that in there.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. All right, so we got some more stuff to show.
Yes, for sure.
In the last video, we ended with the Kevin Conroy Memorial, which is still over there, just chilling. We got some more stuff to talk about over here, which is just this like little like bay area. It's not even a bay. I don't even know what you'd call this, like a peninsula thingy. Just this area where the water comes in. This area was tough.
It was very tough. It went through so many stages. This was the part of Gotham where we were like, I don't know if this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
Because it was bad. Like, at one point we had like a flood wall idea, like it was from the Batman or something.
Yep.
And eventually we came up with this design. My favorite part of it has to be this road going under and wrapping in.
Yes, which we will check out in just a second. But this whole like mud brick wall that you see was originally supposed to be a lot higher. We even had an original plan where there was like a building right here, I think, that was a part of
like
the
a
wall.
archway.
Yeah, and it was like a dam sort of building, like it functioned as a water treatment building of some kind. That didn't work out. And some of that aspect kind of moved to this building over here, which this is the old water treatment building. And Iris, I don't know if you know this, but me and SuperFastFlash, we edited this building a little bit. We got rid of the green.
Did you?
Yeah, we got rid of the green and exchanged it for...
I see. I don't know if I agree with that, but
I agree with that. The old building sucked. This is much better.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little pissed.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just kidding. You added my my brown brick though, so I forgive you immediately.
Yeah, which is another retextured block that Iris did. This was red nether brick, I think.
Yeah, red nether brick. I think other thing to talk about is just like there's so many different aspects of this place that all like combine together. So we got like the monorail lines here. We got like the power lines. We got stairways, we got sidewalks, we got roads. We even have a little sewer entrance. I don't know if we've made the Killer Croc joke yet, but he's definitely in there.
Yeah, he's definitely down there somewhere.
And we got this little ball here. We were going to have more of these, but turned out just to be this one.
Which I think is fine. It kind of highlights that there's a tunnel here. which I like. Everything kind of connects. All these sidewalks, all these roads, whatever level that you're on, you can get up to the next level. Like, it's not restrictive. Like, there's a staircase down here, and then it wraps around. You can go down to that road. There's a staircase here that wraps around, goes down to this road. So you can get to a lot of places just from this area alone.
We started building this before we had the world painter world, but we still kept in mind like different elevation. We try to make sure things are going up and down all the time, swerving and stuff.
And I think it's time we go under this little tunnel. So under this, I guess this just area that we just showcased, there's a tunnel that goes right below and it splits. It's like a little fork in the road. And this just goes back out to where we just were, just on a different elevation. And this was painful to make. This sucked.
Oh yeah, this was a nightmare.
Like, you could just see the roof and like the bends and the curves. Like, this was not fun to make at all. This goes out to the monorail station, which I don't know if we should showcase now.
Yeah, we're gonna show that in like a later video, probably the 4th video, I think.
Fourth, third, one of them.
Yeah, but it's gonna be cool, so look forward to that.
Yeah, you'll see it eventually, but that's a little tease. But what we are gonna showcase is this little room. It's kind of newbie at the moment. This was before we retextured the iron doors and the iron trapdoors. They were just like the regular ones, and we had pressure plates, but we're probably gonna have to redo this. But it's supposed to be a little maintenance room, and it is fully detailed. There's a lot of pipes, a lot of machinery. This is like one of my favorite interiors we have on the city. It just feels like it belongs.
Yeah, I didn't really work on this, but you surprised me with it one day, and it's similar to the interior to the, I guess, under the highway that we saw in the last video. Very nice details with like all the pipes, and it actually looks like machinery and stuff.
When we actually get to like the sewers and stuff, we want it to be like a whole nether city down there. When you discover one of these rooms, and it's like a rabbit hole that just keeps going further and further and further.
What is this, a power box? Yeah,
like a fuse box, circuit breaker.
There's also this little Easter egg here.
Yep, this is another one of those. I hinted at this in the Discord server, and I put, wonder what this could be. So these are going to be some sort of secret within the world. I'm not going to give a whole lot of like reasoning or lore or explanation behind it, but just know to keep an eye out for these. So far I think there's 3 or 4 in the world right now, but these will be something in the future that will reveal something greater when we have more narrative things to work on and showcase and tell. And then you can come up here. We still have more of this area. You can come through this wall, and it's like an area that they didn't finish. There's a lot of like boxes and construction, things that they left behind. You come down here. There's like little water driplets. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's very atmospheric.
Alfred, enhance that water.
Enhance the water sounds, please. And then it leads to, I just fell.
An elevator shaft.
Yeah, an elevator shaft.
This elevator shaft is like the coolest part of this, in my opinion.
Yeah, this took forever to make. I tried to base it off real life elevator shafts, not just like Arkham games or game related elevators. So all these like pipes and stuff that are supposed to emulate cables, and all this stuff down here is like real stuff that would be in an elevator to the best of my ability to make. And you can actually go up it. So there's like a little...
It actually connects to something.
Yeah, so this is one of the other cool things about this, is that it connects to this interior, which is the lobby of the Bexley Continental that we showed in the previous video. We didn't showcase a whole lot of it, but if I fly out here, you can see it's that building right here. So everything that we just went through, all of that is underground, and you would never know that unless you just actually explore. Even if you didn't know about that and you fell down there and went through all that, it would take you all the way to the other side of the city, and then it goes up even more. We're not done yet. So this is the top of the elevator, and it takes you up to here.
Yeah, so this is probably the oldest monorail station in the city. This would be like the ticket stand. It's not finished. I think this is just an oversight, but this is like one of the coolest monorail stations in the city, and we're actually going to be able to show off our new monorail design.
Yep.
I don't think we can actually go down under the city and show like the old version, but at some point we went from, I think it was like 5 blocks wide, and we condensed this down to a 3 block wide monorail, and you can actually go inside.
Yep. So this is what it looks like on the outside. We have banner designs to emulate more like depth and detail because we just didn't have room for it. We used the new hanging signs for like 45-degree angles. I came up with this. This is my favorite part about it, is using these little stone cutters to emulate that the actual monorail is moving on the line. And then I'm gonna punch a door. You can go through here, and there's actual seats with, you know, lights and poles and stuff. It is cramped, but
This is the best we could do, and
this,
honestly, the
yeah.
reason we had to do this is for something we'll show you in probably the 5th video that's not in Bexley.
Yeah, so the 5th video, we hinted at it and we showcased a small bit of it. Did you just emote?
I have to set my keybind for pick blocking.
Right above this little road is an extension that connects these two buildings, and above that is a little willow tree. So we decided to lean into the more spiritual and paranormal aspects of the world and have it where there's rooftop graveyards, which I've never seen anyone do before. This right here is a grave for Roman Freely, and then on the other side is his wife, Lisa Freely. So they were buried here, and we kind of made it a rule that if you made a building, like if you made property for Gotham, that you had the right to be buried inside of that building or on the property. So there's a willow tree here, some graves, and weirdly enough, we have the Gotham Herald right next to it, which is another news anchor within the city. You can actually go inside of this building. There's an interior down here too, which
It's something we made recently, actually.
Yeah, this was like a month or two ago, and we made this with a bunch of people.
This is like a testament to having a super cramped interior. Like, we didn't design the outside of this building to fit this at all. We somehow figured this out, but it turned out really freaking cool. It's a little cramped, but it has some really nice colors to it. We got a little receptionist booth. It's like double-sided, and I think there's another elevator. And this would go to like, we'll have like a parking garage for eventually, or at least that's what it implies.
You can actually go inside these reception
Yeah,
booths.
you can.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, nothing. So, from that point, you can wrap around. And there's more elevators here. So these elevators would go up into the building, and the ones below would go down.
This was like, this top floor was like really hard on both sides. There's like windows we had to like cover up and stuff.
Yeah.
But it turned out good, actually.
This area was super small, and the fact that we were able to fit this is insane. And it's like probably the nicest interior that we have in terms of like how grand it is. Right?
I would go out this door, but we can't show that yet. That is off limits.
Oh man, but I want to see.
That's the no-no zone.
I want to see. Here, I'll give you a hint.
Please.
You can see that. That's all you get. You can probably guess it, but that's all you get for now. So now we are leaving the Herald.
I didn't think you would turn around.
We are going to the 4th block, or the 5th block. It's kind of up for debate. This is like one of the coolest shots in the city. I remember Ducklet saying how much he really liked this shot. Before we finished this area, he hated this area until we actually got it done.
Yeah, if Ducklet says something good about your world like that, that means you've done something incredible.
Right here, we got Junior's Pizza. Now, I wanted to make a red building. I was like, wouldn't it be cool? You know, we have all these different color of buildings, and I don't want to make just another building that has the same color. So I decided to make a small red building that was a pizza place.
I think you should break down the history of this block too, because
Okay.
it was complex. So at first we were like, how are we gonna connect the Continental, which is the giant hotel we were just inside of, which we should show the top a little bit. Basically, this block, we were gonna have like a big, I guess, church cathedral type thing connecting it because we just didn't really know what to do because it was kind of a small area back here. That idea just kind of got thrown out of the window because it was like it's just two huge buildings next to each other. Didn't really work.
We could show the cathedral. We have it in the graveyard.
Could we? Okay.
Yeah, let's fly over there. This is what we call the graveyard. Everything that we don't think fits or, you know, could be used somewhere else goes here. And this was the original part of the Continental. This was the cathedral bit Ilarus was talking about. And as you can see, the Continental would be where this block of buildings were, and it would connect up, and then this would be the end of it. In retrospect, it's not a terrible idea. I just don't think it would have
It would
fit.
just be awkward
Yeah,
next to the museum.
Too. It's a cool idea, and maybe we might do that again in the future somewhere where like we actually plan for it. But this was just one of the ideas that we spitballed because we had no idea how to connect that building to the rest of the block. And funny enough, the second attempt is right next to it.
Yeah, it's right here. And then we just kind of went too crazy with this.
This was like, I don't even know. We made this first like brick building and we were like, oh, we so got it. We know what we're doing. And then we continued and it went down the drain.
There's even a backside.
Yeah, this was like an orphanage, I think. And this block was just too noisy. There's too much going on.
It was hard to let go for me personally. Junior actually came up with a way better design that you see now.
Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, there's like this little slash that went through it. This is an alleyway, and I came up with the idea that it should feel almost like a spiral, where it goes from a small building to another cake layer to the roof of this, to the roof of this, to the roof of this, and then to the very top. Almost like it jumps up in height.
Yeah, it's like a zigzag.
And it worked out a lot better. And then we put these two water towers here, just enhance the silhouette of these buildings. If those weren't there, I think it would be too harsh.
Too flat.
Yeah, it'd be too harsh of a transition. So having those two water towers there to transition to the top of the Continental was very helpful. And that's not all for this block. We have more stuff to show. We have a cafe. It's kind of hard to read, but what does that say?
There's some RTX blocks in here. So what?
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. But you know,
Ballers.
we find new stuff on this world every day. Yeah. There's interiors above it too. You can enter this little window right here, and it takes you to like this staircase, and you can like go into these apartments that are fully furnished, small but furnished. And
yeah, somehow fit an interior in here, just like every other building. We somehow
did it. I don't know how, but we did. And there's another floor, I think, downstairs. You know, kitchens and bedrooms and living rooms. It's just slightly different. There's curtains in this one. And I think that's about it. We got more custom paintings that Ilarus put in, so you can go back up and exit the way you came.
So this was mainly me. I wanted to have a more kind of simplistic building. In terms of our Gotham, which is like lots of complex shapes, especially this block and the museum and stuff, I wanted a building that was just, you know, like a New York City, just rectangles, like a normal city type building. So this is just literally like 4 rectangles next to each other. There's a little bit of an overhang here that makes it cool, and of course we have this like underground connection that connects to the tunnel we showed at the beginning of the video. Actually,
this is it. This is the building.
Everything's connected.
You can kind of see where we went from the start of the video to all the way over here.
And we really heavily planned out like how everything would connect. Like I remember this side of the island we'll show in like the 3rd and 4th video. at first it took forever to figure out what we were gonna do, and that tunnel was like a huge kind
The
of
the original plan, if you remember, this road wasn't supposed to go straight. It was actually supposed to go down and curve
that's
into the
true.
tunnel. And it was, let me tell you, it was cool that we managed to fit the curve very smoothly, but the sidewalks were not it. They were
Oh
messed up.
yeah, I remember it being pretty bad.
The
It
sidewalk
just
was
became
so,
stairs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just became straight up 45-degree angle stairs. It was bad. But for the next building, we have the Grand Treasury of History is what we named it. This is the
Yep, this
museum.
building is insane.
Before we start with anything, we need to talk about its history. I know we mentioned it at the start of the video that that side was tough. This was tougher. Back when we were working on this area still, and we were still constructing the Continental and planning out just this whole area, we had an issue, a very severe issue with the monorail. We didn't know where to take it. We had thoughts of destroying this sky bridge and making it go down that road. We had thoughts of it going down this road, making it go over the highway. We had a bunch of thoughts, but eventually we came up with an idea of putting it down this strip that you see here now. Originally, this block was supposed to be a full block, but we had nowhere else to put the monorail, so we split the block in half and made it just like this triangle pizza slice. Like if I fly up, you can see that we just cut it 45 degrees right there.
The way we plan areas, and this is why I say, hey, don't plan out all your roads at first. Don't plan out different sections, and don't work on too many parts of like the city that are far away, because the coolest ideas come about when you're working on an area and then another area will just be like it'll mess up your plans. Like we have a
Yeah,
monorail here, and so if you go to the back of the museum and we're building back here and we're like, wait, we have to put the monorail in. Like at some point we were like, wait a second, like where the hell is the monorail gonna go? And we had to adapt to like figure out what that was going to be. And so that's kind of where these pillar designs came from, and
yeah,
then that pillar design got taken over here. We have this whole like design specifically for that, and that kind of also, that pillar needing to be there is probably why this road curved like this in the first place. So it's a lot of like consequences turning into possibilities. We had a problem, we planned for that problem. Like we had so many ideas, we experimented, just like with a lot of other things we talked about, and we had to come up with the best possible one.
if you are going to have a monorail in your city, just plan out your monorails. That's all I
Yeah, for
say.
sure.
This was a nightmare, and it still is. Even the monorail still has issues to this day.
Yeah, we have problems even now that are just like
Yeah,
so hard to solve.
we've had a problem recently, like 2 weeks ago, that was giving us an existential crisis. Just trying to, we were about to destroy this entire line to fix it. But with that being said, since this monorail did cut through here, we also had to make the museum have a 45-degree angle as well, because I think we were dead set of having a museum here. It has a little like extension and it goes over to this building right here, which is also part of the museum. This is like a Cyrus Pinckney exhibit of architectural history, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So
And if we
that,
go to the front, I came up with this cool design. HeirOfAzrael wasn't really with it at first, but
yeah,
I just really wanted to do it. Really had the idea, and this is kind of the way I designed the world painter map. I wanted the city to get bigger and bigger as you are going towards the fourth island. So as we're going from the start of the map at the bridge and then leading this way, the buildings had to get bigger. And the museum is just very short in comparison to a lot of these buildings. So I was like, what if we have a part of it that's super tall and it has like a sky bridge that connects to the Trident building, which we'll show in a second. And I
yeah.
think it turned out really cool. It's kind of like a little like mini Times Square. There's no stores really, but it kind of has that kind of vibe.
And without it, we wouldn't have had this super cool design that Ilaris continued upon with this arch and then another really tall building, which this tall building is the Trident international shipping building, which is completely your building. You did 100% of this building.
I'm not sure what my kind of idea for this was. I think I was inspired a lot by Arkham Knight with this one. I just kind of wanted a office building, but having these roads here definitely needed to be like a kind of, again, like Times Square. It's like splitting off, and it ended up being a really cool design. There's so much complexity to the way that it kind of morphs and the different elevations of the building ends and stuff that you don't really notice, and it just has this really cool shape. One of my favorite parts of the building is the small overhang at the
Yeah,
back
I
here.
was just about to
It's
say.
yeah, it's a little bit of a Doofenshmirtz kind of uh aesthetic we went for there. Some would say Tim Burton, I say Doofenshmirtz a little bit. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool. The top is also cool. It's a really nice silhouette building.
And then we
Little
have
satellite up here.
we got the penguin
Got
jammers
the
from Ark
jammer. Yeah, we got the jammer.
penguin jammers from Arkham City. Yeah, this building is one of my favorites. It has a little interior right here that you're not supposed to access. It's just there to emit light. This building has set a bar for being the
Oh yeah.
worst building we have ever made. And I'm not talking about it being bad. I mean it taking our time away. This thing took how many weeks to make?
I don't remember, but it's just I think I started this building and I created like the first kind of foundational design of it. Like we build everything out of like red and then we come in with the blocks. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna just do this floor, and it's all fun at first because you're designing like the palette, and then you realize you have to do this and not just repeat it, but now you have to adapt it to different like shapes and sizes and curves.
Yep.
And at some point, like, you get to this part and you're like, I just can't do this anymore, and you just make a super long window.
Yeah, this building had so many different curves and shapes and stuff that we couldn't just copy and paste it all the way up. So we had to do it by hand.
Yeah, a lot of it was just by hand. Like this top section, like I was just forget about it. I had to do all of this myself just
Yep.
by hand.
I do think that it might be noisy in some areas and that we could honestly fix it up now that I'm looking back at it.
Did we talk about the noisiness in the first video?
We didn't.
Basically, at some point we came back to the city, and this is something I was kind of developing for a while. It's just like there's, especially the first block, which we showed in the first video, there's so much happening. It's so noisy. The museum, we had to come back and it was way
Retouch.
more complicated. Like these pillars right here, this wasn't just straight up and down bricks. This was like crazy designs all the way up. And it was just like, sure, that's cool when you're up close and it's like it makes it look like, oh, you guys worked hard on this, but when you go really far back, like you don't see that detail. You just see a bunch of noise and it doesn't look good. We've realized that like you can't just do detail for the sake of detail. You need to actually plan out like which parts are detailed, which is probably like the overhangs, the bracings, the trimmings, and then stuff like pillars. You don't need to add a ton of detail. Again, we might come back to this building. We might actually fix it up because I mean, look at the density right here. Like
Yeah,
it's
this is
ridiculous.
there's too much going on.
We had an egg problem too.
Yeah, so you see all these dragon eggs? We love our dragon eggs. We've grown a superpower called dragon egg vision. And if you just focus your eyes to only detect dragon eggs, you will only see dragon eggs and see how many there are. Like this pizza building has too many dragon eggs.
Oh my god, I just noticed.
So we
so
have like things that we still need to touch up and fix. And this building we're gonna have to do the same eventually. But it does have some stuff that we do like that we can show. We have this little fake interior that
yeah,
you just
so you're not
see.
supposed to go in here, but it's just nice to look at.
Yeah, there's a chandelier with the infamous orange block.
Whoa, dude, there's like a whole like bookstore back there. You can't go back there, but
What?
it's really cool.
What do you
Don't
mean?
go in there though. But like there's like a whole like it's an arcade. There's like skee ball.
I want to go in there.
Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Come back down.
Oh, okay.
You're not this only to look at. You can't go anywhere.
You're right. You're right. It's time for the grand reveal. You've seen it. It's hard to hide it. It's the clock tower. This is the clock tower, not just a clock tower. This is the tallest building on the island. We didn't know if we wanted to showcase it in this video, but I think this video needed a bit of a pop for an ending.
For sure.
And
this was actually like the top of this. I think I was experimenting with the color palette of the building, and I wanted the top. Like we had like a whole bunch of inspiration for this building.
yeah,
Like we wanted it to look different from the other interpretations, like even the Arkham Knight one, even other ones you've seen from like movies and stuff. We didn't want it to look like that. We wanted our own design.
we made a like a board of just different clock towers throughout the world. German clock towers, the Big Ben was like on there for a bit. Just a lot of Eastern European clock towers with a lot of like ornate decorations. And this is what we came up with. It does have a bigger base at the bottom. This is supposed to be like offices and stuff. So this is supposed to be an office building with all these windows and stuff, but the top of it is a clock tower that actually works. And of course, it does have an interior. Now, before I show it to you, we did want to make it very cramped in here. So it's not going to be a whole lot of room, because I think when you're inside a clock tower, a lot of the room would be taken up by machinery anyway. So
yeah,
we wanted to make it very claustrophobic in here. So if I hop down... oh my gosh.
I was like, I knew this was gonna happen, and I was like, does he know?
Oh. It's Garrett's face. Everywhere. No. Okay. So this is our friend.
Oracle is
Yeah,
cracking down on this guy. He's
he's like the Joker
maniac.
of this. He's the Joker of this world. He's definitely most wanted right now.
For sure. We have Batgirl's costume over here. Pretty cool.
It was either me or Hero that made this, but she sits right there. Got her little wheelchair. Ramps. Wheelchair accessible, very important. And then
I think it's the elevator? Question mark?
Elevator's right here.
Oh, okay. That's just like a pit.
Yeah, that's probably for storage.
It's the
or
ball
something.
pit.
This is like the machinery I was talking about for the clock.
Right.
So you can follow these up, and it leads to like the big mechanism in the middle, and the mechanism in the middle is being held up by these supports and whatnot. So it is thought out. Maybe not like a real clock would be, but there was an attempt. And so that's the clock tower. Very cool. This is definitely the biggest eye-catching building in the city, which is very important because it is the tallest one.
For now, this is like not even close.
Yeah.
Like, hold on. I gotta do the thing for him.
Let's show him how tall our world height is.
This is the height.
Oh, yeah. You see how much height we have? Okay, to give you an idea, there's a building on this world called Elliott Plaza. Ilarus made a video on it like a year or so ago now, where we showcased it. That height limit is where Elliott Plaza goes. So if you stack, I think that's 2.5 clock towers on top, that's Elliott Plaza. Elliott Plaza dwarfs this building. When we get to the next island, the buildings will be like they'll start out around clock tower height and then go up from there. So
just keep getting taller and taller.
It's gonna be nuts. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to show. Like I said, there's gonna be more stuff to see in the next 2 videos. You got 2 more videos coming out. We're gonna try and get those videos out maybe like every month. Yeah,
we'll try to upload every 3 weeks. Hopefully, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try.
At least these next few videos will definitely be within 3 weeks of each other.
Alright, so that's gonna be it from us, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We had a blast filming it. There was definitely some bloopers in this video that we might showcase at the end. We don't know. Should we?
I think it should be like a separate video, actually.
You think it's... Well, maybe there'll be a blooper video. We don't know. You'll see in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go subscribe to BludPanda's channel, BludPanda 1 and 2. Watch the aquarium video. Watch the cinematic trailer. Yep. Watch the first part of this series, which covers like the first block,
Gotham Town, stuff like that. It's really cool. Please support us. Also, join that Discord server.
Yes, join. We want to get as much engagement as possible. If you like this project and want to see more, we post stuff on there that you haven't even seen yet. If that's something you're interested in, please join. And also, we, in the ending of the first video, we asked for people to leave questions for a Q&A. We are still doing that Q&A once we get all 4 of these parts out.
Yeah, I think we've been answering too many questions. I think if you want your question to be answered in like extreme detail, you should like put Q&A in front of your question or something, because I kind of forgot and just started answering people's questions.
If you want your questions answered, we'll start writing them down. Just put Q&A somewhere in the comments so we know, and we don't forget because we're dumb. And yeah, there's gonna be way more content. We have a lot of stuff to show, so stay tuned. And yeah, it's gonna be it from us, guys. So goodbye. We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.